Hello, my name is Ana Jasmim. I'm a student from Culinary Arts and today I'm going to show you how to make éclairs. For the choux dough, we are going to start by measuring 250 milliliters of water, followed by 250 milliliters of milk, so the same measure, and then 200 grams of butter. You can also use margarine, but I prefer to use butter. I break the butter in smaller pieces so it melts easier. Then I measure 300 grams of flour, Once it's completely melted, you add the flour all at once. You don't need to sieve the flour for this process. I could have chosen a bigger pan, as you can see, because it got a little messy. You're going to mix your dough for about 4 to 5 minutes. Make sure to get rid of all the clumps of flour. And then after a few minutes, you're going to start to see these little crusts in the bottom. When it's in this consistency, you're going to put it in a bowl. This process is majorly to cool the dough, and it takes about 4 to 6 minutes. This also depends on the amount of dough you have and the temperature of your kitchen, of course. When you can hold the bowl for more than 10 seconds, you're good to start adding the eggs. I used 6 eggs for this recipe. You're gonna add one at a time. I do need to tell you in advance that this part of the process gets a little tricky, as it's ideally made with a KitchenAid, but I don't have it at home, and as you can see, with a little struggle, you can still do it. After adding all the eggs, you're gonna have this consistency, and this is exactly what you're looking for. We're gonna put the choux dough in a piping bag and start to form our éclairs. It's normal to have a little tail in the end, but you're going to see very soon that it's easy to fix. I just use a cup of water and tap them slightly. Now these beauties are finally going to the oven, preheated at 180 for between 18 and 22 minutes depending on your oven. Time for the second tray. As I said before, this recipe is for 30 éclairs, so you must have about 15 in each tray. Now it's time to poke the éclairs so we can fill them. You can check that you have the perfect éclair when you can do this easily, with no force. Now it's time for our filling. I choose to fill them with chantilly, but you can choose whatever you like. So for the chantilly, you need the whipping cream fresh, of course, but I also like to keep my utensils fresh, so I put them in the fridge for a few minutes. Don't forget to dry your bowl after this. I like to shake the whipping cream so you can mix the fat part with the rest. And then, in the end, I even like to remove the rest of the fat parts. Going to start whipping at maximum speed for about 3 minutes. After it is a little firm, you are going to add sugar little by little. The sugar is to your taste, but I use 2 tablespoons per each 200 milliliters of whipping cream. Note that I made this recipe of chantilly 3 times to fill up all the 30 éclairs. As you can see, this is the consistency we are looking for. You want your chantilly very firm for this recipe. In the end, I like to add 3 to 4 drops of vanilla extract. This step is completely to your preference. Then we are going to choose our tip to fill the éclairs. Some people like to just make a little cut in the tip of the pastry bag, but I rather use a tip. We fill up our pastry bag. You're gonna do these little shakes so it doesn't have any air inside, and you can also fill more chantilly. don't forget to push, again to get the rest of the air out. And now it's time to fill up our éclairs. This process might seem fast as this video is speed up, but it takes about 1 minute and 30 seconds to fill up each éclair. Now it's finally time for the topping. I used chocolate, 200 grams of hazelnut chocolate, and 40 grams of dark chocolate. You need to melt in the microwave for 30 seconds each time. Now it's finally time to dip our éclairs. This is the most satisfying part. I like to perfect them up a little bit with a spoon, but again, you don't need to do this. And after a few hours you will have these beautiful éclairs ready to eat. Hope you enjoy them!